There's been a lot of talk the last few years or so in woke Hollywood about, making James Bond a woman, making James Bond a black man. Just don't make him a white male anymore. There's been a lot of talk about that. And half of this has actually been put to bed now by the producer of James Bond No Time to Die. And her name is Barbara Broccoli. Now, she is a white woman, and her family goes all the way back to the beginning of James Bond on screen with her father, I believe. She has confirmed that James Bond will never, ever be a woman. That was a slap in the face to the SJWs, but I caution you, don't get too upset if you're against this. And to tell you the truth, she left a bit of a bone to the SJWs to kind of get them riled up again, get them excited again. Now, in her own words, James Bond will not be a woman, but let's roll it right here. Quote, "He can be of any color, but he is male," she said. "I believe we should be creating new characters for women, strong female characters." Where have we heard that before? Haven't we heard that term strong female characters in Star Wars? We have. And they have created no strong female characters. The thing is, Hollywood, either they're going to write female characters and they don't do a good job at it, or they want to recycle and gender swap and everything like that, the male characters, to make them female. And I think a lot of people really don't like that. I don't like it. It doesn't work. Anyway, she goes on, she says, "I think women are far more interesting than that. Just to take a male character, turn him into a female. It won't make any sense. And then at that, I don't think you're going to make a lot of money at the box office doing something like that." Now, I'm not a Doctor Who fan, but I know based on that, they changed the Doctor to a female, and the reviews have been awful because I guess Doctor Who has gotten pretty woke. But the thing is, to get back on track here with James Bond, she left open the idea that he could be a non-white man. So I guess James Bond could be a black man, a Hispanic man, Indian man, Asian man, I guess. It would be kind of weird if he was still named James Bond, but I digress. That's another story though. Honestly, let's say that James Bond was made black. How would I feel about this? Honestly, I wouldn't be on board with it. For one thing, the source material says he's a white man. That's just the way he was written. I think James Bond should stay a white man. So for Miss Broccoli to actually say that she doesn't want to do any gender swapping with James Bond, but she's okay with changing the race. Now, she actually said, "I think women are far more interesting than that." Well, don't you think that other men of other races are better than that too? Leave James Bond as a white male. If you want to make something for example, a black man, since I'm black, just create a whole new character. That's all you need to do. If you want to have like a female character in the James Bond universe, just create a brand new character. Do a spin-off of James Bond. Don't call it James Bond. Call it Jessica James or something like that. I'm just making this name up off the top of my head. And call her 009 or something like that. I don't know. I'm not all into the James Bond books. There's other people that know way more about this than I do. But to open up James Bond to a person of another race, you're going to end up tokenizing them. Now, if Idris Elba actually gets the role next after Daniel Craig, because this movie, Daniel Craig, he's done after this movie, it's going to come off as tokenizing James Bond. And I think Idris Elba is much better than that. He's a tremendous actor. Could he do a good job as James Bond? Yes. But it's going to be coming off as tokenized James Bond. And all the hype around the movie would be, finally, we got a black James Bond. instead of concentrating on Idris Elba as a great actor. So if he actually gets cast, it will obviously be because that he is black. That's it. He'll get the job because he's black, not because he's a great actor. And I think that would be the case with any black actor that steps into the James Bond role. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see an actor's talent get diminished because of identity politics. And this is all this is going to be. It's just going to be identity politics left and right. Now, who actually started this whole female James Bond thing, I really don't know. We know that a few months ago that former James Bond Pierce Brosnan said that he actually wanted a female James Bond. He told the men to step out the way. It's time for the women to take over. Did he actually believe all that? Probably not. You know, these actors in Hollywood, they'll just say anything just to please SJWs. But I'm glad that Barbara Broccoli actually said that James Bond will never be a woman. But however, she should have said that James Bond is going to stay a white male. And I truly believe that the next James Bond, I really do believe he's going to be a white male. But I guess she couldn't come out and say James Bond is always going to be a white male, because that would really, really rile up Hollywood and the SJWs. Woke culture would cancel her very, very fast. The thing is, she is a woman, but she is a white woman. And white women in Hollywood, you know, they're deemed as like minorities. They're not demonized like white men. So that's a different kind of thing. But what do you guys think of this? Do you agree with her on James Bond not being female ever? Do you actually want to see a black James Bond, a brown James Bond, or whatever? You get what I'm going. I don't. Stick to the source material. If James Bond is supposed to be a white man, that's fine. Leave him as a white man. Do you want to see a white actor portray T'Challa in Black Panther? I didn't think so. Same thing with James Bond. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? James Bond, no females allowed as James Bond ever again. So guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.